What's up guys, and welcome back to Pop Beat Breakdowns. In today's video I'm going to be breaking down a very simple indie rock beat that I have made, and the unique thing about this beat is this is a beat which is made just using MIDI guitar, so you don't actually have to be a guitarist to make an indie rock beat in this sense. You'll have to bear with me today, I do have a cold, so that's why my voice sounds a little bit like deaf, but I will try and power through talking nonetheless. If you are new to this channel, by the way, smash the subscribe button right now, as it's the best way to support the channel. 2024 is just around the corner, and I do plan to up the content and the type of genres that I do on this channel, and I really don't want you to miss it because I feel like there's a lot of helpful information if you're a beginner to music production, or even someone who just wants to refine their craft more could take from these videos. So now I'm done talking, let's get into logic and let's break down this beat. I'm going to put my headphones on. Okay, so the beautiful thing about this beat especially, again, is the fact that it is just MIDI guitar. Now the MIDI that I am using rather is in the form of Contact's Session Guitarist Electric Sunburst. This is a Native Instruments plugin and I think it sounds great. There is also different variations of this. There's a Strat one, there's the Electric Vintage, which is Telecaster, and there's also the acoustic guitar ones as well. So if you're someone who doesn't play the guitar, this really gives you the ability to actually start tracking guitar into mixes, and everything sounds great out the tin. I'm going to be showing you a lot more of this in the video, but just wanted to get that out of the way very quickly that this is the MIDI guitar we're going to be using today as part of this beat. Now, firstly, let's actually listen to the beat and see what it is we're breaking down. Okay, so we're going to first start with the initial idea which came around to making this beat, and it's actually in a place which you might be surprised when it comes to indie rock, because I wanted to be influenced a lot by Lany, especially in the style of this production. So you'll probably see Lany in the thumbnail of this video, but I actually started today with an organ, and the exact organ sound was a preset in the hybrid keys called the eccentric organ. Check this out. After playing around with notes in the C major scale, that's what I came up with. I thought it sounded really cool, and I thought it was a really good starting point for the beat. So then what I wanted to do next was to lay down some drums so I could get a real sense of the feel of the track, because I could have just jumped straight in and done guitar, but sometimes I feel it's really good to put a rhythm quality straight into production, because then you can really start to get a sense of not only like the build, but the sort of feel that the track is going to have if you've got that blend of rhythms. So let's have a listen to the drums by themselves first before we do the breakdown. Now, I love these drums, and I say it a lot on this channel. These are the 80s Abbey Road drums in Native Instruments. They sound great, and one big bit of advice for MIDI drums, especially trying to get them sound as real as possible, is to always split the individual elements of the drums into separate MIDI tracks. This means you can mix them separately, get a little bit more space in the drums, so overall, again, it just sounds a little bit more natural and a little bit more humanistic. So again, all of these are from the Abbey Road 80s drummer, but I've just split it up, especially the fills as well, just to create, again, like the drums. So when I added the drums in, we now have this. So now it gave me a little bit more sense of direction of where I could take the guitars, which is what we do next. So with the guitars, again, I've tracked everything together and stacked it so I can mix them all together. But the first guitar element that I came up with was this guitar arp. And again, we're using the Sunburst, and I used the IB for A preset. And this was the first guitar I put in. At this point I muted the drums and I was just listening to it with the organ, because this would be kind of like the verse vibe, so that's why I wanted to try and get something a little bit melodic first in. This really helps set the mood of the track. And now we have that, I could really start trying to add some drive to the mix. So then again, this is all in the Sunburst. So this one, the guitar one that I added in next, was the straightforward A. And again, this is a very simple guitar pattern. So let's have a quick listen to it by itself. Actually, I'll play you it. Again, very simple. And it's just sustaining the root chord, which is C in this track. But when you put it in, it harmonizes really well with the organ. So next we need to think about the whole frequency band when it comes to guitar. So I added in the chords next. Again, it was the straightforward A, but this time playing the chords through C, G, A minor, F, and a lot lower down. So we're covering a lot more frequencies to make the production sound a lot more full. then the last thing we needed was some sort of variation when it comes to the strumming, so it gives it a little bit more development, makes it sound a lot more interesting. So then the third guitar one I added, again we're using the Sunburst, and we're using the Rock Show C preset. Now the really good thing about this, I'll just quickly show you, is if you want to add some sort of a preset, so you can just click on one of these tracks, and these are all the different presets you've got. Like there's all sorts here, you click on them. I think it's really cool because you can literally find new inspiration out of anywhere and apply them to tracks, and it all syncs to BPM. Again, with the keys, you just have to set the key here of the song, which is why sometimes this is a good starting point if you're not very good with understanding keys. This actually, the plugins in Native Instruments was how I learned keys and scales a lot better, from actually looking at this and just remembering it. So that's a little bonus of having plugins like this if you're not very good with your music theory. Now when we put this in, again, this was the last variation, so let's have a listen to the guitars all together. So that's the variation. So now we've got something that sounds really full, and then when you put it in with the drums, the production sounds very nearly there. Okay, there's still some elements that we're missing from the production because we're lacking in low end, but we're also lacking in that sort of analog warmth, which especially Lany tracks, but a lot of indie pop nowadays can really have in it, especially if you're going to apply some synthetic quality. So I actually added the synthetic quality next in the bass line, and it was a running bass line using two presets in the retro synth, and I love to blend these two together. You've got the classic analog bass and the PWM bass. When you put them together, you get a bass that sounds like this. But because it's literally just the running bass line, it creates a little bit of bounce on the track. Sounds very cool. So then last two elements, very simple, very quickly. Electric piano, which I put in just because Lany uses a lot of electric piano, so I added the Deluxe Modern, which is, you can find in the electric piano presets in Logic. I did try to get creative with the electric piano, add some little harmonies in there, and a little bit more movement, and then lastly we finish off with Analog Waves, which again is a preset in Logic. If you find it there, pads, Analog Waves. Very cool. And then when you put that all together, you get the finished track, which is an indie rock type beat inspired by Lany using just MIDI guitar. So there you go guys, that was a video. If you enjoyed it, smash the subscribe button as the best way to support the channel. This is me now signing off for 2023, so I really hope you've enjoyed the channel this year if you've watched any of the videos. And also, again, stick around for the new year because there's a lot more videos like this coming your way. So yeah guys, thank you so much, keep making music, and I'll see you in the next video.